It's been a day filled with unexpected storylines. Mirpur throwing up a greenish surface. Jaydev Unadkat getting a second test cap 12 years after he got his first one. Umesh Yadav leading an Indian pace pack and doing it with aplomb. It's ended with Bangladesh bowled out for 227 after opting to bat first, and India finishing the day on 19 for no loss. Welcome to ESPN Cricket for Match Day. Lots to unpack from the first day's play between India and Bangladesh in the second test. Let's get straight to it with Wasim Jaffer. Wasim, we have to begin with Jaydev Unadkat today. You wouldn't have imagined for many years that 12 years after his that first test he played, he would get a second chance. But just such a wonderful storyline, a domestic war horse, and not just getting the game, but also making such an impact in it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I really feel happy. I mean, first of all, I felt really, really happy when he got picked for the Indian team after playing last test in 2010, and he worked so hard, tirelessly for Saurashtra or West Zone or India A, wherever he got the opportunity. Led them to a Ranji Trophy, trophy. Led them to a Vijay Hazare Trophy now. So he's been a domestic giant. So he got the rewards, for the work that he's done over a period of a decade. So really happy for him that he got first of all got selected, got an opportunity to play, and then he made an impact. That wicket of Mushfiq, especially, and you could see somebody who's played so many games, got close to 300, 400 first class wickets. That intelligence to bowl the way he did, from over the stump to round the stump, and he had his impact. So really feel happy that he contributed on day one.
Yeah, it's almost a different era. So much so that of the 10 teammates he had from that first test, nine of them have retired. One of them is his coach now. So obviously a wonderful story there. Jaydev Unadkat getting a second test cap. But just a word on the selection, Wasim. When we built up to this game, we obviously felt that two seamers and three spinners would be the ideal combination. You have to feel for Kuldeep Yadav, player of the match, playing a test match after 2 years. But seeing what the surface was, which was quite unexpected, what did you make of India's decision to go in with this combination?
Well, yeah, you do feel sad for Kuldeep Yadav. I didn't know if it was really green, but probably the surface or the moisture probably tempted the Indian team to put in the third seamer. It did make sense. Looking at the pitch and the way he behaved. But you do feel sad for Kuldeep Yadav, man of the match in the first game, and then he had to sit out. So you do feel sad because he never got a consistent run in the Indian team. So that's what you want to see. But again, you can't drop Ashwin, you can't drop Akshar. So you feel sad, but that selection looks justifiable because the pitch had a little bit of help, little bit of up and down, and then obviously Jaydev Unadkat made an impact as well. And I think going forward in the third innings as well, I feel the fast bowlers will have a role to play. But you do feel sad for Kuldeep Yadav.
Yeah, and while Jaydev Unadkat was obviously the romantic story of the day, when India's bowler of the day, arguably, you could say, was Umesh Yadav. Wasim, Umesh Yadav, through his test career, has never been the most economical. A test career economy of 3.5 is on the higher side for a fast bowler. But what you saw today was India's most experienced pacer on the day, keeping control, just 25 runs given in 15 overs, and also the efficiency to effect the dismissals that he did.
Yeah, I mean that's the experience, isn't it? Playing for so many years for India, the experience shows. He's improved a lot, and I feel Umesh Yadav is far more dangerous when you get subcontinent-like conditions. I feel he's one of those bowlers which is hard to play on subcontinent-like condition because the ball reverses. When he bowls with the old ball, the new ball swings a little bit, but when the ball is little bit old, then he's more into game because of the LBW bowl, because he attacks the stump, bowls 140 since he's been playing. So, he's one of those rare fast bowlers who never dropped his pace, which is such a good thing and which shows a lot about, his fitness and his attitude. Never complained. Again, he's one of those guys who hardly gets consistent run because, we had Bumrah, we had Ishan Sharma before, then Siraj came into the scene. So he has to sit out a few times. But whenever he's got an opportunity, I feel he's delivered. And today was such a day. He's been obviously on the expensive side, like you mentioned at times. But today, I think he showed his experience, just bowled in that corridor most of the deliveries and got big slaps. So really feel happy for him. because again he's one of those workhorses. The captain gives him the ball and he does the dirty job and does it really really well.
Yeah, the likes of Bumrah and Shami are obviously facing a race to fitness when it comes to India's next test assignment, which is the four-test series against Australia at home. Will be compelling viewing, will mean another selectorial headache. We'll see how that storyline pans out. But let's also discuss Bangladesh's batting. When we set up this game, Wasim, we felt that Bangladesh's best chance was to bat first, get a good total. They got that strike. I know the wicket wasn't what you would have exactly expected. But barring Mominul, it was just quite limp all through the lineup there.
I think they'll be disappointed. I think few of them. Shanto got a start. He got 24, 25. Then Mushfiq got a start. Liton Das got a strike. Then Nurul Hassan, he's a capable batsman. He's having a really, low time as a batsman, I would say. So those three dismissals, I feel, they've got the start. They couldn't convert that into a big score. Apart from Mominul, who again came after a while. He was dropped. He had a dull series against India A as well. Gave up his captaincy. He was Bangladesh Test captain before, and I think uh, that choice of playing him over Yasir Ali paid off because the experience showed. He occupied the crease, played his shots, to the bad balls. I think that was crucial knock for Bangladesh. And at one stage, Bangladesh were 213 for five, and to fold out for 227, they'll be disappointed. To not to get close to 300. I think if they had got close to 300, it would have been a decent score. They could have challenged India. But 227, you feel they are 50 less than where they should have been. So they'll be disappointed. At least few of the batters who got start, there was some easy dismissal, soft dismissal. Even Shakib straight away after lunch, he'll be disappointed with the shot that he's played straight away after lunch. Then maybe Miraz as well, straight away after tea playing that loose cut shot. So they, kind of gifted away, couple of wickets to India. So they'll be disappointed with their display.
Yeah, you brought up Shakib over there, Wasim, and I have to ask you because we've seen a bit of a pattern in these three innings he's batted so far. There's in just the what was a less than 40 ball stay today, you felt he gave India so many chances. There was a miss stumping just before lunch, and then of course a pretty reckless shot first ball after lunch. And he did show some of this in the first test as well. If you are the batting coach, how annoyed are you watching a batter as experienced as this go out and give his wicket away as recklessly?
I feel, if you're a captain of the side, then you got to lead by the example. So he'll be disappointed. He's somebody you don't need to tell. I mean, if I'm a batting coach, I don't need to tell Shakib how to play, in those situations. Even though he likes to attack, that's his, the way to play. He's the very attacking person, the way he bowls, the way he bats. But I think, that shot at that moment, wasn't on. If he had batted 10, 15 minutes, then you can probably justify it. But I feel at that stage, straight away after lunch, playing first ball, looking to go over mid off, I think the stacks were against him. So it's frustrating that somebody who can contribute, who's one of the legends of Bangladesh cricket, to get out and have a soft dismissal like that, especially on day one after just first session to get out like that. So he'll be disappointed. There's no doubt about it. Because, like I said, 275, 300, it's a different ball game on that Mirpur pitch.
So, given this pitch, and we don't know how it will play out, you obviously didn't expect this to be a test match that goes the distance. How would you want to see India approach their batting? They managed to avoid any damage in the little passage they had to get through. KL Rahul was LBW to Shakib, but he survived that on review. So, what are you expecting from India on day two, Wasim?
Well, India to have first of all a good batting day tomorrow. That will kind of seal the Test match at least for me. If they can get close to 100, 150 run lead, that will be brilliant from India's point of view. I think Taijul and Shakibul Hassan, and now that he's bowling, I feel he'll be a threat on that Mirpur pitch. So Shakib and Taijul, I feel are the important guys. If India plays them out really well, then they've got a good chance. So ideally, I would say them to at least target around 125 to 150 run lead and bat big in the first inning so they don't have to score too many on the fourth inning because that can be a little tricky.
Right, so could be a day that defines this test match. Of course, we'll see how India play out. It will be an important day for Wasim Jaffer as well, who will have to balance the act of watching a test match and following an IPL auction rather closely. So, Wasim, all the best for you. All the best to you for a big day ahead of you. We'll be joined by you later on in this test match. Thank you as always for your time. That does it on day one of the second test between Bangladesh and India.